Every week we review a book from the sporting world, maybe a latest release, or indeed a classic book that you just have to get your hands on. I'm Peter Martin. I'm joined by the former literary editor of the Herald newspaper, Hugh MacDonald. Absolutely delighted to have Hugh on the programme. This week's book is Taxi for Farrell, Football Between the Lines. David Farrell, the former Hibs and Partick Thistle player, to name but two of the clubs that he played for, has released this book, and it really is on the back of some very well received blogs that David has been giving, an insight into football from a certain level, you know, chapter and verse, Hugh. And
a great level as well, because he can come out and he can be pretty honest about what he feels and what he's done. It actually reminds me, I think the greatest football book ever for me was Only a Game by Eamon Dunphy, and it reminds me of that, in that it gives us the insight into things that we all wanted to be a football player, we all wanted to be professional football players, and this gives you the insight. Yeah, the one thing that I get a real feel from the book is he openly admits, you know, he was in football at a very, very difficult time. A number of clubs were in administration. He had the uncertainty of not knowing at times where his next wage was coming from. So it's certainly not the glamorous world that you would associate with any normal autobiography. No, and part of the whole football world is when we're looking at it from outside, we think all the time, these are the people that are, you know, fulfilling our dreams. You know, we would love to do that, and we forget that it's can be a really tough life. Even at the very top, it can be a brutal life because of the rejection that you get. You know, going into your work every day and somebody saying basically you're not good enough. So there's that, and I think he's brilliant on the pressures that footballers are under. You know, financial, emotional, psychological. Yeah, the other aspect of it that I certainly enjoyed was the fact that he would give you his own insight into how desperate he was to continue playing football, even in adversity. Yeah, but that's the thing about football. I can understand that, because you would want, if you were, your whole life, blood is to be a footballer. He talks about early. That's all he wanted to be. Talk to his careers teacher and keep saying to him, what do you want to be? And he just says, I want to be a footballer. So once you've got that, you don't want to walk away from it. If there are lows in the book, and there are quite a few dark moments in this book, the high for him, strangely enough, in a coaching sense, was with his great friend Alec Ray. Obviously Notts County at the time, he got the chance to go down there and continue his footballing career, albeit in a coaching level, was taking on Manchester City and the millionaires of Manchester City and forcing the cup match to a replay. But there's marvellous romanticism throughout the book, because even early on in the book he's talking about his first real big professional gig was as an Oxford United player, to be a substitute, just to sit in the bench at Old Trafford, you know, and you just imagine how a boy for Denniston, 17, doing that, fantastic. And that's football, isn't it? You can get an entry into the big clubs, you know, with FA Cups, with quirks of fate and chance, you know. But I like the downbeat stuff. I really like the downbeat stuff, because rather than kind of puncturing the dream of football, it brought football alive to me. Yep, one of the stories in the book is obviously he's at the tail end of his career. He's playing the last match of a season. There is a strong suggestion of people in the community have weighed in heavily in the betting. Could he have been more cutting edge in suggesting maybe that quite a few footballers might have got in on it? I mean, am I being too critical of him? No, I think he's got to be careful there with what he says, because people, I mean, the betting culture now in football is such a no-no that any fingers being pointed can cause lots of problems down the line. I think it's an open secret, and we know it moving amongst footballers. There's so much gambling can go on in the game, and it's something that I think gambling, I mean, it's a completely different issue, but I think gambling is the big thing that the SFA and FIFA and UEFA want to crack down on, more than even drug taking, you know, because I think they see the integrity of the game. There's difficulties there. So I think he's been, shall we say, discreet. And maybe properly so. Yeah, okay. One thing that we always try and do on the book club is suggest whether it's, first of all, worthy of buying. Why is it different from any other book out there? worthy of buying for me, very much so. Especially if you've ever wanted to know what's inside a footballer's mind. There's been a great success with The Secret Footballer down in England, which is smashing as well. But I think that's more gritty, more realistic. Talks to more about Scotland and what I would have loved to have done. So I'll give it an 8.
Yep, I'm going to agree with you on that. I think it's well worthy of an 8. And don't forget, we have countless competitions on plzsoccer.com. So in the book club, if you want to win this signed copy, David has kindly signed, best wishes, David Farrell, then all you have to do is quite simply click on the link. If you can answer the question, you never know your luck, you could be the winner of this copy. Hugh's given it an 8. I've given it an 8. Thanks to Hugh for reviewing the book. Taxi for Farrell, well worthy of your consideration. From Hugh McDonald and myself, Peter Martin, thanks for watching.